Iron first began with the Chinese. They were noted for using hot metal for ironing before anyone else. Pans filled with hot coals were pressed over stretched cloth. 1,000 years ago, this method was already well established. Meanwhile, in Northern Europe, people were using stones, glass and wood for smoothing. Then came the charcoal iron, also known as a hot box or the slag iron. All one needed to do was to put charcoal into the base of a metal container to iron. Invented in the early parts of the 19th century, the box iron has evolved over 100 years from a simple object of metal, often heavy and hard to use. This caught on well among Ghanaians, especially secondary students, as they had to get one as stated in their prospectus. By the early 1880s, more than one person had considered powering ironing with electricity, but Henry Seeley of New York was the first inventor to make this idea workable. Today, the electric iron remains the most popular means of keeping clothes neat and straightened, and it has modern features such as a steam, temperature control and sometimes auto shut off. With the invention of the electric version, the box iron has gradually faded out of the system to some extent. The news team combed through many shops at Makola here in Accra, and most traders either did not sell the box iron or had run out of stock for some time, but are not interested to go for new consignment.
People they come house, but no profit inside. So if you buy, you won't get anything for inside. That's why we stop that one selling. People can buy it 60 Ghana. The person will come give you 50 Ghana. They know say that one there is not expensive thing. Some people they bring them, then you go buy it for them.
Philip Saki had just 3 of the box irons left.
School go almost say pay electric iron. I know box iron pen use. Go to school kwa. And ya box iron passing. Go school. When I get occasion time, school for no kwansa.
The same for Justice Kofi Dankwa, who sells at the Rawlings Park area.
Electric iron. So about wait for the interview. I like that. So I use electric iron. And I school for them. So go almost home school. Still now.
But do people still use the box iron?
Sometimes, especially Sunday, laptop can come at any time. If you not prepare for church, you use box iron to use for your clothes before you go to church. Or my family used the box iron. For my grandma, the place was there is no light, so we used for box iron for that.
For seamstresses at the 31st December market in Makola, the box iron is out of fashion.
We are now white.
With the box iron, you have to set fire and fan it for some time. Even the ash can soil someone's clothes. The electric iron is better. I prefer it. Using the box iron slows down the work compared to the electric one.
Well, for Joyce Opong, even though she does not use the box iron, she has kept it safe in her shop just in case there is power outage. While many may have fallen out of love with the box iron, at Kantamato in Accra, the use of these old-fashioned metal irons are visibly in use. It is a booming business here, as people, usually second-hand sellers, queue to get their clothes pressed. Their kind of irons have no space for charcoal. Rather, the flat surface is placed on hot coals to make ironing simple. From morning to evening, these men iron the second-hand clothes, charging between 5 to 10 cedis depending on the number of clothes. The old Portuguese iron, according to these men, is made from Kumasi magazine and brought to Accra. The ancient iron is reported to kill parasites and bacteria on contact with clothes, as well as eliminate mildew better than the modern versions.
Electric iron intimento ebi e gabardine trouser eno no etimi nane ba electric iron no intimi frento sa gabardine trouser ye hihye na be 5
Technology may have changed a lot of things, and talking about ironing of our clothes, that also has changed. Now, if you go to every household, you will find electric iron that we used to have, the box iron and what have you. But here at Kantamato in Accra, the use of this particular iron is still in vogue, and that is what the men here use for their daily activities. And using this particular iron could be very risky because it is quite heavy and very hot straight from the fire. So one will have to be very careful in using this particular iron. Although the men acknowledged the danger in working with fire in such an overcrowded area, they have little intention of moving out immediately. And some prefer to use these irons even at home.
I want the electric iron to I shame.
But what about your house? Which iron do you use?
The same iron.
But for these young men who also iron as Kantamato, the kind of clothes determine which pressing iron to use.
Sometimes normally we iron more than maybe 500,000 clothes here. Yes, maybe it depends. Maybe sometimes we say almost the man by do now immediately no open in time and that one you need to maybe hurry up. Every day be a 5 city.
Fast forward, modern day irons may not require the ironing table again, as all is needed is to point the iron to the fabric to look spotlessly clean. Evelyn Tengmaa, TV3 News, Accra.